Welcome back to the Buds in the Box podcast. The Leafs lose 2-1 in game one of the 2021 playoffs in the first round against the Montreal Canadiens. I don't even want to summarize it, but if you guys, it helps me feel better when I vent. So what do you guys think about the game?
I think the Leafs played directly into Montreal's game plan. There's no way around it. They completely played the way that Montreal planned for them to play. There was no better game that Montreal could have played in a close, low-scoring game with a lot of hitting. There's easy ways to avoid that. Don't get into stuff like that and just like play your game, keep your head in it. Like the Leafs completely got off track, but you can't blame them because of what happens to Tavares. Like it's like how hard it is to get mentally back on track after something like that.
I wasn't even
So
mentally back on track, and I don't think we are
after that
either.
happened, I literally knew that the game was basically over because you can't. It's happened in games that I've played in before. Like someone gets stretchered off, it's scary. If it's your teammate, especially your captain, like that, there's no going by that. Like there's no going about the rest of the game.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. I just got a alert from ESPN, and Felly, you mentioned it before, but this just backed it up. This just in: Maple Leafs John Tavares is conscious and communicating well, but will remain hospitalized overnight and do further testing. So that's some good news for the Leafs, at least going forward. And yeah, I just got it from the score too as well. So that's some good news. Jude, what are your thoughts?
I mean, not much to think about. I'd rather not think about it. Kind of move on to the next one. But I mean, the thing is I mean, we all watched it live. We all know how much me and Felly, this player, means to us, and that's just Eric. I'd say that he means a lot, but you're a hockey fan, so
Oh God.
um, but
I
I
think
mean,
all Leafs fans, it's
Eh,
pretty heartbreaking.
Yeah, even if like
Like
just watching it.
listen, for anyone on the ice for that to happen, I'd say the same thing if it was that idiot Josh Anderson. I'd say, it's like scary. It's really scary. It's upsetting. It's sad. And it just hits like super, super close to home when it's your captain. You're one of your superstars on the team, right? He's the guy that's part of this lineup with no holes in it. He's part of this super team almost. Like he is the heart and soul of the Leafs. He is. He's the captain. He's the leader. He's there for everyone on the bench, and it's just like a super unsettling sight to see a guy who's always so composed. He's so composed. He's so calm all the time. And then to see him um, like not very like conscious, fell down when he tried to get up. Like that's some scary stuff to see. And then if that's your teammate and that's your friend, it's even harder. Like you can't mentally get back into a game after that. And people will say, "Oh, that's just an excuse. Like you can easily play." But like, no, if that's happened to you, if you've seen your friend, go through something traumatic like that, you could see Matthews was tearing up on the bench if you saw when they zoomed in. Like it's scary. It's like these guys are grown men. They're scared. Like Matthews was scared. He was literally tearing up, shaking his head. Like yeah, he was like nervous. Like they're all like incredibly worried for him, and like that's their friend and teammate. So then to get back into a game after that is so hard to do,
Yeah,
right?
like the physical injury was almost traumatizing to watch. I mean,
Yeah.
Tavares gets hit in the face, and I didn't really think anything of it. You guys can go watch my reaction in my live stream, but I mean, I just looked. I go, oh, Tavares gets hit, big hit, but I didn't see what period it after, right? Because the camera was following the play. I saw the replay, and like I was watching it live. This guy like tries to get up. Tavares tries to get up, and just instantly, like his eyes roll back in his head, and he falls back and looks like he's not even there. Right? It's traumatizing to watch. I just have a personal story. You know, I was playing a hockey game, and the ref bent over to go pick up a mouth guard, got a slap shot to the face. Uh, his lip got cut open. The puck went through his lip and right outside the other side, cut a hole in his lip. Teeth were all over the ice.
What? How does a puck go through someone's face?
It cut a no,
What?
like not through it, like it cut like right it cut his whole cheek right open.
You said it went through his mouth.
Yeah, like his from right here to here was cut
Okay,
open.
okay.
That's what
Sorry,
like I meant. His teeth were on the
my
ice,
bad.
and we couldn't even like it was so hard to continue, and it wasn't even our teammate, right? So imagine this guy getting stretchered off the ice. He's your captain, he's your leader, and he goes down at the start of the game, right? So
Well, right
that
then and there, you could see all momentum that the Leafs had completely gone.
yeah,
You could
Like a balloon.
yeah, I mean you could like cut the tension in that arena with a knife, like with a spoon. Like I felt upset and like nervous and scared for him, and I didn't have to play a hockey game. And literally I wanted to stop watching. I was like, I don't think I could watch anymore. Like and I've been waiting like all day, all week, all
Yeah.
month for this game one.
all
And
year.
listen, game one, it's just game one. The series by no means it's over. They have the upper hand, the smallest upper hand you can get right now. The smallest upper hand you can get. So, but immediately after that, I was the Leafs. They were gonna lose. Then you could see it out because they scored 2 minutes after.
Exactly.
So you know that they were in the right headspace to continue playing. They should have. I don't know. When something like that happens, I feel like you got to take an intermission,
Yeah.
like a short, like 10 minutes of commercials or something, like just to let them get back in like in their own headspace. Because like you go right back out a minute later and you get scored on because
Yeah.
you're not thinking properly. I guarantee you, Campbell was worried,
But
not thinking straight, right?
yeah. Well, I completely agree there, and that's where before I got cut off by Eric. No, I'm just kidding. When I said he was a fake Leafs fan, um, that Felly said it best with the friendship kind of thing, and we know Campbell's personality. We know how he is as a human, and everybody's his friend on that team. There's no doubt about it. As we've spoken in different podcasts, we kind of joke around with who's quiet, who's like that. No matter what, no matter if you don't say a word for all 56 games, or if you're talking your head off, Campbell's your friend. I can bet you money right now that he is your friend. And when like if I saw one of you guys out there like that, I would be like I would probably be crying, like, and I was almost crying then. Like he's just such an important player to this team, to me as a person, and then on top of that, obviously, like Felly said, like Matthews couldn't like he like the friendship thing, right? Like they're all humans. This isn't just like a business, right? This is human beings that we're watching, and like it kind of comes down to like Matthews crying. You never know how, like, they didn't really zoom in on Campbell for whatever reason, but he was definitely shooken up because right after, he was out of his headspace. He moved his stick out of the way, and then Anderson comes flying down and he's kind of out of his net, not ready. What was he thinking then? And you know what? You got to give him leeway because we have no idea what he was thinking. What if he was thinking like, oh man, like that, like I love him or whatever. Like that's one of my best buddies. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, he's going like I can't even imagine because
yeah,
we're going through it at home. Like I was shaking like on the couch, like
yeah. My stomach hurt.
worried for his well-being, like just completely. So these guys spend every single day with John Tavares, every single day, 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day. They're with him. They're a team. They're family, So to see that and then to go out and play, it's hard to do. And you made a good point, Jude. Like Campbell is one of the most down to earth guys in the entire world, the entire sport of hockey. He's one of the most down to earth guys, friendliest guys. I guarantee you, he's sitting there like worried, right? I think they wanted to come out and play for Tavares after, but it's hard to do.
It
Yeah,
is.
yeah, and Felino even tried to start a fight with Perry.
He destroyed him too.
Yeah, he did. A lot of people are kind of saying like, why would he fight him? It was obviously an accident, and I mean, we could get into that if you guys want. I wouldn't even mind to just scratch the whole game because I think everyone knew what happened. And it was kind of a short game. If you guys want to get into that debate of incidental or not,
Yeah, well, We can quickly go over
Yeah, we could just like go through like 2
the
minutes of goals.
2 goals the first goal was Josh Anderson.
Yeah, on a
This
breakaway.
guy turns into Wayne Gretzky against the Leafs. I don't know what else to say. He gets the speed of McDavid and the shot of Ovechkin when he plays the Leafs. I have no clue what gets into that guy when he plays Toronto, but I can guarantee you if they make it past the first round, he is not going to play like that against Edmonton or Winnipeg. He just won't. It's so weird. He goes crazy against the Leafs. But anyway, that was the first goal. He
He has
came
one
down.
goal all year last year, and to start
Yeah.
off the playoffs, he has one goal.
Yeah. So Campbell was clearly not in the right headspace. And like, fair enough. I wouldn't be.
What is it? All glory? No, is that
Listen,
the right saying? All glory.
I don't know.
But like,
Anyone would have let that in.
yeah.
After that happening, it's traumatic. It's really traumatic. I was barely watching the game. Like when Anderson scored, I was kind of just like, oh, I didn't care as much as I like would have normally because I was literally just worried about Tavares.
Yeah.
So you gotta give that one to Campbell. That one, it is what it is.
Well, both goals were breakaway goals, so I mean,
fine goal. Yeah.
Campbell played well,
Yeah.
especially for what
He did
happened.
He
play
did. He
great.
played amazing. He played as well as he could have.
Well,
In the first couple minutes,
yeah,
he made a great
Josh
save.
Anderson again.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Like, what?
So right there, I was thinking the Leafs are picking up momentum. That's an amazing save to make at that time early in the game. That's a momentum builder. But what happens to Tavares really, really killed it. But then Nylander was had a really good game. To me, he stuck out the most out of anyone, not just because he scored, but because he was out there, he was hitting guys, he was skating really fast, he was doing what he needed to do. Same with Foligno, he really stuck out to me as well. But Nylander scored off a rebound. I was pretty hyped. My Budweiser red light went off. It went off perfect timing. I put a 5-second delay on it. Went off perfectly.
That's an upside.
Perfect.
That was an upside. And then, the rest of the game, they scored with 5 minutes left on a power play that Joe Thornton made a turnover. Joe Thornton should not be on the power play. That's aside from the fact.
They learned
if Tavares was taking that draw, that wouldn't be the situation. So
they learned the hard way.
Yep. Because they put Nylander with them after and made Matthews go center.
Yeah. Anyways, you want to get into that injury, so
yeah. I just want to say before there's some controversy. So the first controversy that I'll let you guys get into was it intentional or was it intentional? I think I messed it up, but whatever. You get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
And then also Nick Foligno fought Perry after the injury, and I kind of said at the start, why would he fight him? Like, it was like, I know Perry didn't mean to do that. It wasn't malicious, right? But this is what Foligno said. He said, our captain is laying on the ice. They would have done the same if it was their captain. Also, the hit wasn't malicious, but the fight takes away anything in the gray area, which now that he says that, clears it up. And he was, I think I have to agree with him there.
Listen, if you ever played hockey before, you know what it feels like. As much as he's like sad and scared for his teammate, he wants to get a little bit of revenge, which is completely normal. And I would do the exact same thing. I think, like Jude, you've played with me before. Like Eric, you've played with me too. But like I really care for my teammates, so it's not always the smartest thing to do. But that's exactly right. I mean, one of your teammates, your friend, your family is literally lying on the ice, looking lifeless. He wasn't moving. You have to believe that, okay, maybe if it wasn't super intentional or whatever, did he do his best to get out of the way? No, he knew he knew that his knee was going to hit his head, and it might have been a split-second reaction, but you could at least try to stop. He didn't really care that Tavares was in his way. He looked at the puck, right? And in the moment, I guess that can happen. But listen, if he was 100% trying to get out of his way, that wouldn't have happened. He would have jumped. He would have stopped. He might have snowed Tavares, but he would have stopped. And the initial hit to begin with, I wasn't a fan of. that was a blindside hit to begin with. The hit on Tavares that made him go down. Um, but no, Perry did not do the best of his ability to get out of the way. He
No,
didn't. As much as it looks like it, he didn't. You could see in slow-mo, you could see in real time. He had time.
Exactly.
He had the time.
And it's
So
extremely controversial right now as this is just hitting I guess the paper right now. It's going all over social media. Everybody's talking about it, and um, everybody except for Leaf fans is saying that this is including Kevin Bieksa. So I mean, and
he's
that
such
is
an idiot.
exactly that's a very very trustable source. Someone who would do stuff like that, kind of like the Edler play.
Exactly.
He defends Edler even though he's like, oh well, you stick your knee out. No, you don't. You don't. And then yeah, like Perry jumped, but Perry jumped at the worst time to jump. Like it would have been better if he just went with momentum and kind of like hit him. He jumped into his head, and then on top of that, like Felly was saying, I mean, he saw him, but he was. Bro, me and Felly watched one game together on New Year's Day, and Corey Perry got kicked out of a Winter Classic game.
Mm-hmm.
Think of his pretty much his history. If that was Nazem Kadri, that would be a way different story. People would be all over it. That was intentional. Look at this guy. Corey Perry's flown under the radar. He's always been known as one of those players, but he's been more like he's not like Tom Wilson, Marchand, or Kadri, but I'd say he's fourth or third up there. I'd say he's one of those players that you got to take note of, and he probably had 75% effort to get out of Tavares' way, and this is where we are with 75% effort. Tavares is being hospitalized. So I
You're
mean,
right.
that's a human, right?
You're 100% right. And listen, like we will get hate because we're Leaf fans. People will say, "Oh, Tavares is, he's a baby. He shouldn't have rolled or he shouldn't have whatever. Perry, it was an accident, whatever." And of course, just because he's a Leaf, he'll get that. But I guarantee if it's the other way around, if Tavares need, I don't even know who their best player is because they're all terrible, but
Weber
let's say it was Josh Anderson
or
and Tavares
Weber.
or Weber. Okay, Weber. He need Weber in the head, and it looked like an accident. I guarantee you, the entire league would be saying, "Oh, you should suspend him, kick him out." It's just because the Leafs. It's the Leafs. People dislike the Leafs. If you're not a Leafs fan, you don't like them. And Leaf fans know that, and Leaf players know that, and whatever. I think it's like a league known thing. Okay, there's a lot of people who are just like, I'm a Calgary fan and I don't mind any other Canadian team, but I hate the Leafs. Oh, I'm an Edmonton fan and I don't mind Vancouver or Calgary, even though it's the Battle of Alberta, but I just hate the Leafs. And there's no reason to it. The Leafs haven't won a cup in 55 years, but they feel this like need to just hate the Leafs and hate on the Leafs. So people are gonna downplay this injury and this circumstance. And listen, the people on TV aren't going to pick a side. They're all just going to say, "Oh, it's unfortunate. We have our thoughts and prayers for Tavares. It looked like it could have been accidental." Perry showed some remorse after, whatever. Listen, I know that he didn't want to hospitalize Tavares. Okay, that wasn't his intention. Obviously, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that he could have 100%, just like Jude said, he could have tried to get out of the way better. I don't think he cared about his knee going into Tavares' head as much as he cared about going to the puck, and it's a split-second decision, but I'm not
Yeah,
saying it was on purpose, but it wasn't an accident either. He had a
exactly.
decision to make, and his subconscious made the decision for him.
It's a split second decision, but at the same time, I mean, you grow up learning how to skate, learning how to avoid things. I don't know if you guys saw in the second period, Charo threw a knee out on Riley Nash, and the way he dipsy doodle, he didn't like he. It was just the way he maneuvered. Could have been the exact same effect just with Corey. You know what I mean? Like split
Yeah.
second, Sherrod's coming at him, and he has the time to avoid Sherrod's knee because that could have also been terrible. But I just that stuck out to me because it just like if Nash can like move out of Sherrod's way with someone coming onto him instead of wait with someone he was about to be hit in that situation, and then instead of Tavares being a still object kind of thing, like it's extremely controversial, and whatever side you're on, I mean, you need to have a lot of sympathy and then a lot of um you gotta have a lot of confusion towards Perry. I mean, he is a reputable offender, so
Yeah.
Yeah, and I heard you say the name Riley Nash, so I immediately went to get my pencil because I have the lineup right here. Riley Nash did not stand out to me at all. Um, Everyone's saying,
well.
"Oh, he's so good defensively. He's so good at faceoffs." That I don't think he won one faceoff, maybe one.
I personally I agree with you there, Felly, and I did not see him take a single face off. I don't know it like
I
I
saw him take a few. I think I saw him win one and lose five for the ones I saw. He got kicked out of a couple too, but
yeah.
he did not show out for me. And now the Leafs have some lineup changes to make because Tavares is not going to be back for this series, let alone if they make it past this series, he's not going to be back for the rest of the playoffs. Maybe. It sucks to say, but and it sucks that it happens, in the first 10 minutes of the game one of a series against a rival, this hometown kid, captain of the team, right? It's just a horrible, terrible story. But now we got to look at the lineup, and now Riley Nash is for sure going to stay on that third line. But now you have to put either Foligno at center with Nylander and
Galchenyuk.
maybe Galchenyuk would come in or Engvall would come in.
Yeah.
If they needed a center, I think Engvall could come in and play and move Kerfoot up. Spezza can play second line center. That's risky.
We prepared for this. The Leafs are prepared for this injury.
They're prepared for injuries, but that's a blow.
Yeah.
You prepare for maybe like Kerfoot getting injured or someone in the bottom six,
Yeah.
Nylander maybe, right? You don't want to lose Hyman, Matthews, or Marner. That's absolutely not happening. Tavares is right there. And I guarantee you he was looking forward to this series and trying to help the team. Everyone is on this team, but now you got to put Galchenyuk in the lineup. I think we'll see what they do on Saturday, but
Yep. And yeah, I guess that'll do it there. Let us know what you guys think about this whole situation. And if you're Leafs fans, we understand your pain. We will come back next game and try and win the series. That's all we can do at this point. So thank you guys for watching on YouTube. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe and enter the giveaway. And if you're listening on Spotify, we appreciate you. Make sure you hit that follow button on Spotify. Also, make sure you turn on post notifications on YouTube. This has been the Buds in the Box podcast. Bye for now.